What if I told you that a man with a long history of petty crime and forgery managed to pull off one of the most daring heists in German history, all with just a stolen uniform? Wilhelm Voigt was born in Tilsit, Prussia in 1849. He had a troubled childhood, and by the age of 14 he was already in prison for theft. This marked the beginning of a long history of crime and forgery that would eventually lead him to become the Captain of Köpenick. Voigt's early life was marked by poverty and instability, which likely contributed to his turn to a life of crime. Despite his troubled past, Voigt was a charismatic figure who was able to talk his way out of many situations. As a young man, Voigt was sentenced to 14 days in prison for theft, which led to his expulsion from school. He then learned the trade of shoemaking from his father, but his life of crime continued. Between 1864 and 1891, Voigt was sentenced to prison for a total of roughly 25 years for thefts, forgery, and burglary. His longest sentence was 15 years for an unsuccessful burglary of the court cashier's office at Wungerwitz. Despite his many run-ins with the law, Voigt was a cunning and resourceful individual who always managed to stay one step ahead of the authorities. In 1906, Voigt was released from prison after serving a 15-year sentence. He tried to start a new life in Wismar, but the local police, who regarded him as a threat, deported him from Mecklenburg. He then moved to Berlin, where he was briefly employed by a well-reputed shoemaker. However, the local police soon discovered his presence and expelled him from the city as an undesirable. It was during this time that Voigt began to formulate his plan to impersonate a military officer and pull off the heist of a lifetime. Voigt spent weeks gathering pieces of a uniform, eventually assembling a complete captain's uniform from second-hand clothing dealers in Berlin and Potsdam. He was unable to find a spiked helmet that fit him, so he bought an officer's cap instead. With his uniform complete, Voigt was ready to put his plan into action. He would stop two small parties of soldiers returning to barracks from guard duty in the north of Berlin and tell them that he was acting on the orders of the Kaiser. On October 16, 1906, Voigt put on his uniform and stopped two small parties of soldiers. He told them that he was acting on the orders of the Kaiser and took them by train to Kopenick, a small city on the outskirts of Berlin. Upon arrival, Voigt posted 4 men at the building's entrances and sent 2 more to secure the ground floor. He then entered the offices of the mayor, George Langerhans, and announced their arrest on the Kaiser's orders. Within the hour, Voigt had arranged for Langerhans and the city treasurer to be taken by carriage to the Neue Wache, the main guardhouse in central Berlin. He ordered the remaining soldiers to withdraw at 6 p.m. and then left for the railway station, where he changed into civilian clothes and disappeared with the contents of the municipal cash box. The exact amount of money taken is disputed, but it is estimated to be around 4,000 marks. The reaction of the German public was overwhelmingly one of delight at the cleverness and daring of the culprit. The German press speculated on what had really happened, and the Imperial German Army ran its own investigation. Meanwhile, the British press saw the affair as confirmation of their stereotypes about German militarism. The incident became a sensation, with many people praising Voigt's cunning and audacity. Voigt was arrested on October 26, 1906, after a former cellmate tipped off the police in hopes of receiving a reward. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison for unauthorized wearing of a uniform, offenses against public order, false imprisonment, fraud, and aggravated forgery. Despite his imprisonment, Voigt became a folk hero, and his case sparked debates over German criminal justice and the treatment of released prisoners. Kaiser Wilhelm II pardoned Voigt on August 16, 1908, and Voigt subsequently published a letter of thanks to the Kaiser. The Kaiser was reportedly amused by the incident and pleased with the authority and reverence that his military commanded among the general population. Voigt's pardon was a surprise to many, but it marked a turning point in his life. After his release from prison, Voigt capitalized on his fame. His wax figure appeared in the Wax Museum in Unter den Linden, and he appeared in small theaters in a play that depicted his exploit. He also signed photographs as the Captain of Köpenick and toured in variety shows, restaurants, and amusement parks. Voigt's story inspired numerous stage treatments, including plays and films, cementing his place in German folklore. In 1910, Voigt moved to Luxembourg and worked as a waiter and shoemaker. He received a life pension from a rich Berlin dowager and eventually bought a house and retired. However, he was ruined financially in the post-World War I recession. Voigt died of flu in Luxembourg City on January 3, 1922, and was buried at Notre Dame Cemetery. Despite his tumultuous life, Voigt's legacy lived on, inspiring generations to come. Today, Voigt's story remains a fascinating tale of cunning and audacity. His exploit has been immortalized in films, plays, and books, and he remains a beloved figure in German folklore. The Captain of Köpenick's legacy serves as a reminder that even the most unlikely individuals can make a lasting impact on history. Voigt's story continues to captivate audiences, inspiring new adaptations and interpretations of his remarkable life. The story of Wilhelm Voigt, the Captain of Köpenick, is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring appeal of a good underdog story. From his humble beginnings to his daring heist, Voigt's life was marked by a series of twists and turns that ultimately led him to become a folk hero. As we reflect on his life, we are reminded that even the most ordinary-seeming individuals can hold extraordinary secrets and surprises. Thanks for watching the incredible story of Wilhelm Voigt, the Captain of Köpenick. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories and documentaries.